Welcome, everyone, to Bear Football. My name is Aldo Gandia. Danny Shimon is with me. A fascinating Chicago Bears game, in my opinion. There's tons of cool stuff happening on this. My only concern is that the defense is now starting to show signs of having a hard time getting off the field. Two of the last offensive series for the Packers resulted in 13 plays. The last one there just before halftime, a touchdown from Rodgers to Watkins, the rookie. Danny, your impressions?
Yeah, I mean, early on, to me at least, it looked like the Bears were the younger, more amped up, more fired up team to play today, as opposed to the Packers, who were a veteran team. They're done in terms of the postseason. So it just looked like to me that the Bears were ready to go, and of course, getting Justin Fields back on the field, that kind of gave them a little bit of a boost or energy there as well. So, and to me, like early on, the story for the first half, guys, I know the last couple of drives have been a little bit disappointing here, but that the young kids out there in the secondary, it's a banked up secondary. You got Elijah Hicks making his debut in terms of first start. We got Josh Blackwell playing corner, nickel back. You even got this guy Andrew Brown. They plucked off the Arizona Cardinals practice squad. Playing defensive line up there as well. So hats off to those guys. Playing a back. Jalen Jones playing cornerback. Again, all these guys out there playing in a banked up secondary and pretty much held them in check up until these final few minutes of the second quarter.
Why have the Bears had, with the exception of a couple of plays, but the running backs have had a hard time getting the running game going? Have you detected anything that the Bears are doing or the Packers defense is doing that is, for the most part, the rushing yards they got, the majority of them are from Justin Fields?
Well, yeah, I mean, we got a dynamic playmaker like Justin Fields. I mean, a lot of those yards are going to come from him. But in terms of Montgomery, I mean, he had some couple runs. And I think the first play was a toss sweep. He got 7 yards. Of course, he got the touchdown there in the first half as well. So, the thing I think we're realizing as we go on, and we'll realize more and more, is how much of a impact Khalil Herbert made on that rushing attack for the Bears. Now, again, they're on pace to probably score or rush for more over 100 yards again. Primarily, I think 70 yards are from Justin Fields alone there. So I think that's the numbers are going to look fine. But I think the 1-2 punch of Herbert and Montgomery, I think, really kind of propelled the Bears running game. So I don't think the running game is dead by any means. I still think Montgomery is a guy that we could definitely see carry this load. But what I liked in that first half was we saw a little bit more of Justin Fields getting more of the other receivers involved. We saw the big play, 56 yards to St. Brown down the football field, perfectly thrown ball, hitting him in stride. Claypool was a bit more involved, obviously, until he got hurt there. So I haven't heard anything about Claypool in terms of his knee. I saw him jogging on the sideline, so we'll see if he comes back in. But I like obviously we got Cole Kmet involved here as well. So I like the fact that they're getting just a little more comfortable with some of his options there on the outside. So I think that's why they kind of you haven't seen. I think Bears only had 4 or 5 drives in that first half. So I think as the second half progresses, I think we'll see more of that rushing attack and Montgomery come back hopefully.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. What about Jack Sanborn? This guy is just every week he seems to be getting better. I posted up on Twitter a play where he ran to the left sideline, the sideline nearest the camera, and he didn't go parallel to the line of scrimmage. He went after the ball carrier and stopped them at the line of scrimmage by the sideline. This was the amount of running that he did to make that outstanding tackle. But that's not the only good play he's had. He's been playing really good.
No, he's making plays sideline to sideline. And again, I've said this week in and week out, guys, whatever he doesn't have athletically, he makes up for instincts and film study. You can tell this guy knows the formations. He's done he knows his keys. He hits them, he sees them, and he just goes. And the ability to weave through traffic to kind of avoid blockers is innate there, and he gets to the ball carrier and brings him down. One play that actually was not going to be highlighted, where it was, I believe, a third down play where he came. I think they set up a quick screen. He came on, he took on two blockers, blew up two blockers to allow his teammates to stop the tailback short of the first down. So that play is not going to be put on highlight tapes, or it's not going to make a dent on the stat sheet. But again, he took on two blockers, blew them up to allow one of his other teammates to make that tackle and stop the running back short of the first down. So things like that. The kid's making plays, and guys, it's the one thing if we are gushing over him, but Aaron Rodgers now is starting to play with him too. It's acknowledge him as well. So that tells you he's getting noticed around the football league, National Football League. And I think if Aaron Rodgers kind of winks at you, it means you've been accepted into the Players League.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that play by Sanborn. We will be highlighting it on our next episode of The Bare Truth, where one of the players you're going to break down is indeed a Jack Sanborn, and so that we can all get in on
that's going to be fun tape to break down.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really cool. So I'll be pulling that one and a bunch of others for you. Well, let's talk about the offensive line, because I see a lot of people are bringing it up in the chat room. Your overall impressions of how well they've played in this first half.
Overall, it's been okay. I mean, we saw Leatherwood taking. I don't know if Reef started the game. I don't know if he re-injured himself or whatnot. I haven't heard anything there, but we saw Leatherwood in there. Looked okay the first couple of snaps. I mean, Justin Fields has been doing a real good job in terms of getting rid of the football. Getting it out of his hands quickly. So it's not a matter of just sitting back there and kind of holding on to the ball. So I think that has helped them a lot there as well. Other than the one, what Tevin Jenkins got just kind of run over by Kenny Clark, and that the one play was a negative play for the Bears on offense. I mean, nothing really has stuck out in terms of the offensive line kind of letting Justin Fields down. Now, he did get hit after he released that ball on that big play to St. Brown, but again, the ball was out in time. He got hit. It wasn't something that was serious enough. But other than that, let's see how it continues. If the Bears end up falling behind the Packers, and all of a sudden they're going to have to, be kind of, start throwing the ball downfield more often, then let's see how the pass protection holds up. But my thing right now is I'm keying in on Leatherwood at right tackle and seeing how those guys can hold up in pass pro.
Another one of the plays I'd like your opinion on is the trick play where Equanimeous St. Brown did not throw on the jet toss to him. It seemed like he had I know at least David Montgomery was open down the right sideline, and then somebody on Twitter said that EQ was open down the middle of the field, or maybe it was Claypool. What did you think of that play?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a surprise. I think it's just twice now we've seen them run this play. I mean, the first time I remember was Darnell Mooney, and I thought he was going to have a chance to throw it back to Justin Fields. I forgot who they're playing there, but both times it looks like the receiver had options to, and both times that the play has been used, looked like the receivers had options to throw the ball, but they're just kind of holding on to it. So, for me, it's you're a receiver, you're not a quarterback. If there's any doubt in terms of can you make the play, if it's not an easy completion, I'd rather them hold on to the ball and just move on. I believe it was a second down play, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. Hold on to the ball and let's get Justin under center there and third down and see if we can convert on first down. So I'm okay if they don't throw the football, just if they don't feel comfortable with it.
I want to quickly squeeze in this question from Rock Davis. He was talking about, when you were talking about Sanborn, he asked you, do you make him a weak side linebacker next year or in the middle?
Right now, I'll just leave him in the middle. That depends on what we do, Rock, in terms of the offseason, who we bring in terms of that weak side linebacker spot. Nick Morrow has been a solid player out there, but obviously you want a little bit more athleticism, a guy that can make a little bit more plays on the football in terms of, create some interceptions, maybe make some more sacks, obviously, rack up the tackle. So we'll see what to do there. But I mean, for right now, I like him at middle linebacker. That is Sanborn, that is. And right now I'm just keeping him there. But again, we'll see what happens in the offseason and who they bring in here for next season.
Tyler jumped in here quickly. Tyler, we're about ready to start the second half, so your quick thoughts, brother.
Quick thoughts. Danny just hit on it. Your man Sanborn, Aldo, is making his presence felt, and it's really, really fun to see. And once again, shout out to Justin Fields leading from the front. This is our Super Bowl, Aldo, like you talked about. Let's just beat the Packers. There
you go. What do you guys want to see, or expectations from the offensive play calling primarily? And is there anything on defense that you'd like to see the team do that perhaps they haven't done? Tyler, I'll start with you first.
Anything that I would like to see from a defense standpoint, AJ, Dylan is a monster. I would like us to show toughness up the middle. I feel like that's been a weak spot for us. Obviously, we're addressed during the offseason. And on the offensive, I would just like to see us go 2 drives consistently, drive down the field and get some kind of score. I just feel like that would go well for the offense and as we continue to grow.
Okay.
For me, offensively, just let's continue to get Montgomery involved here. Let's continue getting these receivers involved and getting the ball quickly out of Justin Fields' hands. You know, third and short, quarterback sneak, didn't like that play call, but that could mean that the Justin Fields injury isn't as bad as we thought or been led to believe it was. So that's an offense. Let's continue to put some pressure on the Packers defense and get some points on the board. Defensively, guys, you're not getting pressure with your front four. But the one time we saw Rodgers kind of scramble and move out and throw an incompletion was they blitzed Jack Sanborn. He got there, got pressure on Aaron Rodgers. That's what I've been calling for week in and week out. Is get some pressure, bring some blitzes. Let's get this quarterback a little bit off his platform there, and let's create some incompletions. And young secondary, keep doing what you're doing in the first half.
Yeah. Real quickly, from a receiving standpoint, EQ has 3 targets, 3 catches, 85 yards, 3 targets, 2 catches for Claypool for 30 yards, 2 targets, 1 catch, 10 yards for Kmet, and 1 target, 1 yard, 1 catch for David Montgomery. I would not mind if Fields just focused on those guys the rest of the game, and the play.
Pringle, that's well. I want to see Pringle get involved too.
Yeah, I'd like to do that, but I'd like to try to keep it as simple as possible for him, so that he can continue to make those quick decisions, those quick throws and so forth, and get this short passing game going, because we want to kill clock as much as possible and not just have the running game doing the brunt of the time management part of the game. Tyler, looks like we got a few seconds left. You got any other thoughts you'd like to share with us?
Let's get this win.
I hear you. This game,
you got her draft position, Tyler.
Forget that. Forget that. This one we want. This one we want. We got to last 2 weeks. Remember, we got to buy next week.
Right. Let's just win this one, and that's it.
There you go. I see how the players are out in the field. They're waiting for us to get off the air so that they can continue playing. Guys, you're the best. We'll see you immediately after the game. Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hit the end.